Sports keeps patching the game and the meta keeps changing. So what is the current meta on FC24? Well, that is what we are going to learn today. Alright, first up, we have pinged pass plus driven passes. Guys, these driven passes in combination with recycles are absolutely overpowered, and you need players with pinged pass plus, and you need to learn to use these kind of driven passes because it will change the way you play FC24. It will increase your attacking tempo. All right, that means you will transition quickly from midfield to attack, from defense to midfield. And once you are in the final third, these passes will yield results that weren't possible before the patch, especially with pinged pass plus. But also, normal driven passes are still very good, as you can see on the pitch. Right now, we are being pressed and we want to transition quickly from the midfield to attack. So how can we do that? First, we are going to use normal left stick dribbling without any inputs to turn away. And then we are going to look for an open player and go with an R1X pass. That happens, we are open, we combine with the player lock, we go with L1 triangle, right? And we are through on goal. Again, it's not always only one thing. The major focus is pinged pass plus driven pass, but again, you have to use lobbed passes. You have to still use player locks. This is the recycle, okay? See, again, the attack started with a driven pass, we went with a lobbed pass, and now we are here. Many people are confused. What is recycling? Recycling means pulling the ball back from the wings towards the midfield, then back towards your strikers, alright? And this is really overpowered, even if you look at pro versus pro games. So once we are here, we use a ball roll to slow down, turn away using the left stick. Now we have to use a driven pass to recycle towards our midfielder. And then with our midfielder, we will use another driven pass followed by a first time pass. So it would look something like this. As you can see, we do exactly that. We go with the driven pass. Ball rolls are important to give yourself an angle, and we end up scoring this goal. This isn't new, but it is still very useful. Driven passes in combination with stepovers, especially L1 stop stepovers, are great after the patch. They were great before the patch and still very viable. Driven passing to the strikers on the last man, go with the step over, and you will see that most of the times, especially with quick step plus or rapid plus, you will be through on goal. Like I said, in order to transition quickly from midfield to attack, we use the driven pass, and then if we are on the last man, if we are on the counter attack, step over straight. We use the step over straight and we go past the defenders. Now, all of this needs to be from the muscle memory. If you think consciously during the game, you will struggle. It needs to be from your muscle memory, alright? And how can you program that? By doing targeted practice, which we will talk about later on. Now, next up, we have crossing. Aerial plus was patched according to EA, but it is still very viable, and it is still something that you should include in your game if you struggle to score goals, because back post crosses and knockdowns are still very overpowered. How do you use the back post crosses? We are going to learn that, and also we are going to focus on the player lock knockdowns, which you might not have heard about a lot. Obviously, first you need a tall guy on the wings. Once you have a tall player with aerial plus on the wings, you're going to get somewhere around here, okay? This is a sweet spot. The area with the red arrow and also the area in the black is a good spot for crossing the ball, but you have to focus on the timing of the cross. So most of the times you will cross the ball when your tall guy is against the full back, and you will go with an L1 square chip cross. What is it? It's a chip cross L1 square, 2 to 2.5 bars of power depending on where you are standing. And then again, just go with a timed header. Remember, headers are manual, so you need to time them correctly, or rather aim them correctly, alright? But again, it is all about how you open up the space for the cross, alright? Crossing is one thing, but knowing how to open up the space for the cross is another thing. Again, we are using player locks in combination with driven passes. Everything that we learned, alright? Stepovers, you see, everything that we learned is a part and parcel of every attack that we do. This is a knockdown header that I talked about. Now, what is a knockdown header? You have to player lock into a player who is tall. In this instance, Hojland is the tall guy. I probably butchered his name, so excuse me, alright? And we are going to player lock into him. Then we are going to manually move him in front of the opponent's fullback. And then we will ask for a cross. We'll simply gently tap this crossing button and we'll cross the ball into our tall guy. It's a knockdown header. So what will we do afterwards? Obviously, we will knock the ball down like that. and potentially score a goal. All right. If I did a shot cancel, that's a goal or a ball roll. Again, see it in slow motion. Knockdown headers are still working, still great, especially against top tier players, against players you cannot score, against players who like to AI defend. This also works against them. Again, the back post crossing, right? This is the other area. This is the other area where you can use the back post cross, but it depends on the positioning of the tall guy. You have to have an eye out for your winger, and when he is either making a run towards the back post or he is already on the back post, that is when you cross the ball. And the result will be something like this. And you will score a lot of goals. All right. Now, these were some tricks that I taught you, but here is the real part, the general meta after the patch. All right. Yesterday, I was doing a coaching session and I taught him this. It is all about probabilities. You have to think in terms of probabilities. Now people say, but we don't have so much time in the game. Yes, I understand that. But you have to focus and you have to do enough conscious practice to a point where it becomes a part of your muscle memory. Then you do it without thinking. All right. Now there are three options. We have a pass towards Ronaldo, we have a pass towards Alexia, and we have this space towards the black arrow. The probability of passes getting intercepted is higher than if we were to simply take 2 touches towards the black arrow and go for a shot. Either it will be a goal or we will get a corner. So we do exactly that and we end up scoring the goal. Controlled sprint is OP and we can use it in tight spaces. All right. Lobbed through passes and always facing the direction where you are passing the ball in triangles, and close control left stick dribbling. What is close control left stick dribbling? It is simply using left stick gently to open up spaces for crosses, passes, and shots. If you look at this goal, guys, my Davis is on stay back. I will manually tell him to make a run. All right. I told him to make a run. Now I wait for him to be on the last man. It catches the opponent off guard and we go with an L1 triangle loft pass followed up by a cross. We know Ronaldo is on the back post. There's a chance he might score and he does end up scoring. But all of this isn't going to be possible without knowing the probabilities, without having enough conscious practice of these tricks that I just taught you. All right. And the best thing that you can take away from this video is probabilities. If you think in terms of probabilities, you will yield results which weren't simply possible before. Why am I using Rolfa? I am using her because of the pinged pass plus. If you cannot get a team of the year De Bruyne, you can just get Rolfa. She is great, she is available, and you will actually get a lot of goals with her driven pass. Fake player lock, driven pass, L1 stop, Stepovers, and then look for the goalkeeper. Now, many of you might be wondering what are my tactics. So I suggest you to check this video out here, and I am tweaking my tactics to make them even better after the patch because I have noticed that the depth can be better after the patch. So keep watching.